Okay, so first grade, welcome back to your grade level link for week 8. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a cityscape sculpture using different colored paper. Now, if you have construction paper at home, that's great. You can also use magazines, and I happen to have these really brightly colored pieces of construction paper, so I think I'm going to use this for my project. So what I want you to do is you want to first create your background. And your background is simply done by picking a surface that you're going to be gluing all of your buildings onto. And I have a feeling I am going to make my background the green, because there is no rule that says your sky has to be blue, right? Now, one thing I want you to do and practice in this lesson is the idea of creating a symmetrical design. A symmetrical design is when something is the same on both sides. So if I think about life and I think about things that are symmetrical, there's butterflies, those are symmetrical insects. I am symmetrical. If you divide me in half, I am the same on both sides. So to create a symmetrical building, all you have to do is fold the paper in half. And the folded line is the side that you do not cut. That's your symmetry line. So I'm just going to cut that. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to create a really cool shape. And when I open this up, it will be the same on both sides. Do you see that? Now this building is going to start up here. And I want you to work vertically. Vertically is when you go up and down. Okay? So you'll need a glue stick and just put some glue onto the back of your on the back of your shape. So what I want you to do is just take some glue. Glue stick works great for this, and just rub it along the back of your shape. And just glue it down towards the top. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be layering the building silhouette so they go down to the bottom. Because what we're doing is we're creating a background, a middle ground, and a foreground. Those are the 3 parts of a painting. The background is the stuff that's all the way in the distance. And the middle ground would be the stuff that's in between. And then the foreground is the stuff that's in the front. So now I'm going to take, and I don't want to waste this whole piece, so I'll cut this here. And I'll fold it like this. I have my line of symmetry right here. And this time I'll try to create maybe a building with a point. With that, it's symmetrical. So I'm going to glue this, and every time you glue, you want to overlap it or put it pretty close to the building that you just did. And you want to use a variety of colors. Now, I like this purple one, and I think I'll cut this like that. I'll try to make a really skinny building this time. My line of symmetry. And I'll just glue this, and keep your scraps. Don't get rid of them, because as you work your way down, you can repeat a color, right? Hold it on your line of symmetry. And if you cut on your line, folded line, so I cut some little boxes here. When I open this up, I have created some negative space inside the building. Do you see that? And boys and girls, when you create your cityscape, you have to think about how a real city looks. Buildings do not just stand right next to each other on the horizon line. There's buildings that are in front and buildings that are in back. So think about that as you're creating, and also think about all the different cool shapes you can make. Look at that one. All right. Let's see, I'll create another pink one. Oh, look at this. This is the negative shape of that building. I can use that. I think I'm going to use that. That looks like two buildings. That was pretty cool. So even the scraps that I did not intend to become buildings became buildings. And I'm going to wait on that one because I want that to be in the foreground. As you're working, you want to think about the buildings that are going to be in the front. The foreground is the front. And as you are creating, you can start to see your picture forming, and then you can kind of say to yourself, I want a piece that's going to stick up higher. And then you can start to have a little more control over the shapes that you're cutting out. Because you see, I wanted a point right there, so I used my eye to create a nice long shape. What do you guys think? I think I need maybe... Well, I'm going to put the yellow one here, so let's put that on. And I think that fits. Look at how cool that came out. Now, just to make the bottom even, I'm just going to trim this a little bit. Because I want my collage to have a nice clean bottom. So see how I cut that? Wow, I love that. The only thing I don't like, see, sometimes you have to critique your own work. I'm not sure if I like the hole right here. So I'm going to put one more building, and I think it's going to be blue. And here are some negative shapes from that building. Do you see that? And I think if I cut this in half and thin this down, now this piece is not symmetrical, and the opposite of symmetrical is asymmetrical. So if I folded this in half, you can clearly see it does not line up with each other. But that's okay. I'm going to put one asymmetrical piece in my collage. Okay, so boys and girls, I gave my collage a few minutes to dry, and I grabbed myself a purple Sharpie. Now, obviously, you can use whatever color you have laying around. I also have lots of pens, but I think the purple Sharpie is going to look great on this collage. And what I want to do now is I want to create lines and patterns on top of my shapes to add more detail. Now, obviously, I couldn't make this one completely symmetrical because that building is in front of where that rectangle would be on that side. But look at how by putting lines and pattern just on that one building, it really made it stand out. Boys and girls, when you're working with this much color and lines and patterns, it's a good idea to stick with one color when you're making your lines and your patterns, because it helps kind of unify it a bit. If I did this in all different colors, it might look a little too busy. So sometimes artists will just use one color to help bring a whole bunch of the picture together and unify it. So let's see, I think I'm done. And look how cool that cityscape is. So boys and girls, I just made a really cool landscape collage using construction paper, a glue stick, and one color marker. So boys and girls, I hope you liked trying the collage. I think it looks great. I'd love to see what you're doing. So if you make a cityscape collage, you can email me a picture at pricet@pearlriver.org. And if you are finished and you mastered the project and you'd like to try something new, you can certainly click on another grade level link and see what they're doing as well. I hope you have a great week, and I will catch up with you next time, and we'll have more fun and exciting things to try. Talk to you soon.